Today on the list, pool safety tips, the best dinosaur movies to ever walk the earth, and make working with your spouse work for you.
If you wouldn't say it to a coworker in a cubicle situation, you probably shouldn't say it to your spouse.
Plus,
I've seen this on Instagram and I can't wait to see how it's done.
why braids are the perfect summer hairstyle.
I'm gonna be the coolest looking mom at Little League.
But up first, how to collect confidence and transform your life. It's your life, it's your list, and it starts right now.
Hey friends, I'm Christina Guerrero.
And I'm Jimmy Rhodes. And when you're flipping through those socials and seeing other people's perfect lives, hanging with friends, connecting with family, everyone has a smile on their face, it's easy to feel less than.
Yeah, no kidding. But hey, in reality, you have a lot to offer as well, and we are going to prove it to you.
Zach Perry's introducing us to the author of a new book that's all about collecting confidence. And that's our featured story at the top of the list.
I'm here. We are selling Flexibel, and it's on.
Kim Gravel shines bright as a superstar on shopping channel QVC, but it took a while to collect that confidence.
Life ebbs and flows, and I think with confidence, it does too.
Studies show 80% of women struggle with low self-esteem, and Kim wants to change that. So she wrote the book, Collecting Confidence. Start where you are to become the person you were meant to be.
I have grown and really built my confidence in the messiness of my life more than the triumphs.
First, Kim says get empowerment from your low moments.
Kimberly Hardy is Miss Stone Mountain.
Back in the 90s, as Kim Hardy, she was one of the youngest contestants to become Miss Georgia. But then she lost the Miss America pageant and then another letdown. Her marriage ended.
I married when I was 20, and I got divorced when I was 23.
But she says you'll learn the most from messy life experiences.
You also have to be very, very self-aware when you come into, I call them messes or mistakes in your life. You got to own what part of it is yours, and then you've got to say, okay, what did that teach me?
Her next tip, get real with yourself.
There's something freeing about being just who you are.
When she first became a mom, Kim felt like she had given up on her other dreams.
I had just had my first son, and I had gained a lot of weight, and I was miserable.
She tearfully told her dad how she was feeling, and he gave her a reality check.
He paused, and he said to me, "You're not a fat girl. You're just living like one."
Make the most of where you're at.
Get real with yourself. There's something great about going, yeah, I got 40 pounds to lose, but I'm working on it. But while I'm working on it, I'm going to dress it up much as I can.
Also, stop comparing yourself to others.
We're looking at everybody else's fake life and comparing our real life to it.
We're our own biggest hater, and that has to stop.
We talk so bad to ourselves, and then we compare that inner voice to someone else's highlight reel, and that's why we're not confident.
Finally, Kim says trust your calling. Everyone has a purpose. Hers is to boost others.
When I decided to be that person and live out my life's calling, then everything started happening, almost in a magical way.
Her positivity catapulted her career as a QVC host.
When I started just walking in my authentic self, who I really am, then what I'm supposed to be doing unfolded.
She says you have a purpose too. You just have to find it.
Every single person watching this, listening to my voice, you are created for a huge, big calling on your life.
Collecting confidence with some coaching from Kim Gravel is at the top of the list.
No matter how well you get along day to day in your home life, a professional collaboration with your spouse can be a challenge. But close to 2 million couples are running small businesses together in the U.S. So we're looking at the do's and don'ts of being business partners with our life partner.
Collaborating professionally with a partner or anyone you love can be a really fantastic thing as long as you avoid some pitfalls.
Getting an idea for what you do well and running with that thing and finding those that can help you sort of meet needs in areas that you're lacking a little bit would be a great way to avoid some of those potential problems.
For tips on how to work with your partner, we turn to the hosts of the podcast, She Sells, He Sells, Krista and Brian Demcher. For starters, know your boundaries and limits.
You need separate workspaces. You cannot sit at the same desk and then sit at the same dinner table and sleep in the same bed at night.
She says it doesn't matter where, just as long as it's not the same room.
So there's plenty of work days where we're not really seeing each other, so that when we move on to the evening portion of our day and doing all the things with our kids, it doesn't feel like we've spent the last 8-10 hours together.
Also, have a clear understanding.
You are going to need to outsource some things, right, to meet those areas where you're not super proficient.
They consider themselves to be big picture thinkers
and not great at minutiae. So when we started the podcast, that was one of the first things we did, was find that person who will be able to help us sort of edit and publish and make sure that they're doing what they're good at so that we can focus on what we're good at.
Next, build a structure.
We really have more discussions revolving around whose expertise or whose knowledge base best applies to each individual project we're talking about.
This helps streamline decision making and who takes the lead on things.
One thing you can avoid is sort of this paralysis by analysis state. And as entrepreneurs, we also have to remember that action is better than inaction.
Even though you're together all the time,
you really do have to systemize. There needs to be some bumpers for both of you to stay within, because otherwise it gets a little bit too gray, and that's where problems really arise.
Finally, keep it professional.
With this being your spouse and being in a working relationship with your husband or your wife, you're going to feel a lot more comfortable with that person than you would in a traditional work environment.
However,
if you wouldn't say it to a coworker in a cubicle situation, you probably shouldn't say it to your spouse.
And if issues do pop up,
I like to start the conversation by saying, hey, I just want to vent. I want to download all of these things that I've been thinking, but I am not looking for your feedback right now. Thank you very much. And that really helps us avoid potential arguments.
They also keep things flexible.
We like having the opportunity to have a conversation over dinner if it feels right to both of us. You have to make what works best for you.
There's no I in team.
Whether you're heading to the beach, a wedding, or a concert, a braided look is often the go-to summertime hairstyle of choice. Teresa Strasser's keeping us on trend with some fun braid styles for summer 23.
Warm temps are here, and whether you're heading to the beach, a wedding, or a concert, let's get your locks styled with some of the hottest hairstyles of the season.
Everybody's doing braids. Why are braids so popular for summer?
Well, they're perfect because you don't have to worry about your hair. You can leave them in, sleep in it, and then they're good for like 4 or 5 days.
Jessica Figueroa, stylist at Velocity Style Bar in Phoenix, Arizona, brings us 3 show-stopping braid do's you'll want to wear next.
Braids are so simple and good for everybody. I think there's no limit to when you can and can't do something.
We begin with a timeless style with a modern twist, bejeweled fishtail braids. This style features 2 fishtails along the front of the scalp where small sections get pulled for volume.
Fluff it so it's not so flat.
These are pinned to the back of the head, and we'll jazz them up with some hair rings.
You just open them up and then put them on whatever strands of hair you want, and then you close them back.
I'm gonna be the coolest looking mom at Little League.
Let's move on to a popular 80s style that's made a huge comeback, bubble braids, and we're adding bows.
So I've seen this on Instagram and I can't wait to see how it's done.
Hair's parted down the middle, and each braid is made up of small sections tied together.
And then the sections you take, you want them to always be the same size.
Each space in between gets fluffed out.
By pulling that hair and loosening up is what's gonna create that bubble effect. And you're just gonna continue that all the way down.
And to the ends.
And what's great is because your hair's curly, it looks like a nice little bubble at the bottom of it.
Repeat this process on the other side, and when it's done, add bows.
I'm just gonna tuck it in right here. And I'm gonna do the same color in the same section. And then to spruce it up, we're gonna do 2 at the bottom as well. That way it really draws attention to the eye. And that is that.
Finally, let's add sparkle to some braided space buns.
A festival look.
And then along the hairline, we're gonna put tons of glitter, tons of rhinestones, so you can see her a mile away.
Space buns.
This look features 2 Dutch braids that are fluffed out for volume, with hair pieces falling around the face.
I like this because it gives it a much more natural look and feel.
And once the buns are set in place with bobby pins,
now it's time for the fun part.
Glitter is attached with lash glue using a spoolie brush.
That way I can drop the glitter right on. And then I'm gonna take hairspray to kind of act like a little sealant. And we're gonna take some bigger rhinestones, but you're able to get so much fun texture up at the top with the braids and the buns that it gives you such a different look.
Why blend in when you can stand out with these perfect summertime braids?
Still to come on the list, improve your fitness with an online trainer.
A lot of people's hip flexors are super weak, so I'm going to show you guys how to fix that.
Plus, how to keep kids safe at the pool.
You want to have someone in 15-minute shifts whose sole responsibility is sitting by the pool.
And take an adventure 65 million years back in time.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
All that and more ahead on the list.
Hey friends, welcome back. Pool season is here, and that means it's time to think about child water safety.
Absolutely, even if you don't have kids.
That's right. A pool safety expert gave Jackie Danker a multi-layered approach to let kids have fun while keeping them safe.
Eric Lupton, CEO of Lifesaver Pool Fence Systems, has a few ways to keep us all safe, and it starts with assigning a water watcher.
Drowning is the #1 cause of death for children between the ages of 1 and 4 years old. And what's really sad about that is they are almost always absolutely preventable.
Eric Lupton, CEO of Lifesaver Pool Fence Systems, has a multi-layered approach to pool safety. And it starts with assigning a water watcher. Many parents feel secure when there are multiple adults present at a pool gathering, but it can actually be a mental trap.
There's a psychological phenomenon that happens called diffusion of responsibility. You think I'm watching, I think you're watching, and the more adults present, the less safe children are in the pool.
The solution is a water watcher whose only job is to watch the kids. Eric recommends they wear a lanyard with a whistle to indicate they are on duty.
They're not on the phone, they're not reading, they're not socializing. You want to have someone in 15-minute shifts whose sole responsibility is sitting by the pool.
And Eric recommends that every parent take a CPR class, because there's a good chance you'll need to know it.
In your lifetime, there is a 25% chance that you're gonna be in the room with somebody who requires CPR.
Next up are hidden dangers. Eric says water wings and puddle jumpers offer a false sense of security.
They leave children in the vertical position, which is oftentimes called the drowning position. Children need to learn how to swim and float and save themselves. They need to be horizontal. They got to be floating on their back.
He says another hidden danger are flat pool drain covers that can trap a child or adult underwater.
And the problem with the flat drain cover is the amount of suction that it generates is more than you could possibly ever hope to pull your child from. So make sure that your pool has a safe drain cover, which has a domed kind of curved surface to it.
We'll wrap with our last layer of security, a purpose-built pool fence, much different than chain link or wrought iron types.
A mesh pool fence is designed specifically to isolate your pool from the rest of the backyard, and it's only made for child safety.
The material is super strong and transparent.
The mesh has no handholds or footholds, which makes it much more difficult for a child to climb over. It has a self-closing, self-latching gate that's key lockable.
You can learn more at poolfence.com. Keeping the fun in and the danger out with pool safety.
Summer is coming, and that means it's time to shape up. If you need a little motivation, Teresa Strasser found some personal trainers on TikTok sharing their workout and meal plans for free. Hey, Teresa.
Thank you. With more than 22 million likes combined, these personal trainer influencers are helping fans get fit one exercise at a time. Coming in at number 1, Justin Augustin.
Work your core in 1 minute with this standing core routine. Follow me if you just want to use your body weight. Follow Kathleen if you want to add a bit more resistance.
Justin is making exercise more approachable with his easy workouts.
My 99-year-old grandma still exercises.
Waiting for a good day to happen, you know. Waiting around.
She's turning 100 in May.
He also makes sure that along with good exercises, you also learn good stretches for before and after your workout. An easy way to transition into working out. I love it. At number 2, Nicole Ferrier Fitness.
A lot of people's hip flexors are super weak, so I'm going to show you guys how to fix that.
Nicole, who has a BA in exercise science and nutrition, is not only helping us with our exercise, she's also happy to help us get more protein.
Let's make some high protein overnight oats. This recipe is perfect for anyone who's in a rush in the morning and is looking for something sweet.
She also shows us that healthy doesn't necessarily mean a flat stomach. Good reminder. And last on our list of TikTok personal trainers, Christian Fleener.
Imagine your life if you were consistent. Imagine your life every single day. You woke up with a purpose. Imagine your life of you taking action on what you said you were going to do that day.
Christian shares motivation along with some really useful exercises.
Here's 3 different foot placements on the leg press to build bigger legs.
And shows us what not to do.
Number 1, we got the incline dumbbell alternating press. This exercise can be good, but you should just do the normal incline dumbbell press. You can lift more weight, which is going to get you better results.
I was just going to say all of that. Those were some TikTok personal trainers who are helping us on our exercise journey. More to come on the list. Stay with us.
Hey guys, welcome back. Today on the watch list, from Godzilla to Jurassic Park, these huge creatures are far from extinct on the big screen. So Zach Perry hatched a list of heavyweight dino cinema.
It has been millions of years since dinosaurs roamed the earth, but at the box office, they are alive and well. Just this year, we saw the release of another big-budget dinosaur movie, 65, starring Adam Driver.
Dinosaur movies will never go extinct. They just have that appeal. We want to know more about them. We want to see them as realistic as possible on the biggest screen imaginable.
Rotten Tomatoes correspondent Mark Ellis is a self-described dino flick fanatic. So of course, I had to ask him for his top 3 dinosaur movies that everyone should see. Mark acknowledges that his first might sound cliche. It's 1993's Jurassic Park. But for him, the story takes you to a place no other dinosaur film has before.
Welcome to Jurassic Park. When you watch Jurassic Park, you actually believe this could happen. That premise from Michael Crichton's novel just works. We find mosquitoes from back in the day that have some dino blood in them, and lo and behold, we can clone dinosaurs. Hold on to your butts.
Too obvious for you? Well, how about our next feature, the Cowboys vs. Dinosaurs Adventure, The Valley of Gwangi, which Mark praises for its pioneering visual effects.
Gwangi. Professor, there's a big lizard back there and he's heading this way. Now get aboard!
The associate producer was none other than the effects genius and pioneer, Ray Harryhausen.
Ray Harryhausen was the stop-motion guru behind classic films like Clash of the Titans. And for 1969, Mark says Valley of Gwangi was a big deal.
What you are about to see has never been seen before.
It influenced a new generation of filmmakers, including Steven Spielberg, George Lucas, CGI legends like Stan Winston, whose creature effects in movies like Alien we may never have seen if we didn't get movies like Valley of Gwangi.
We round things out with the family-friendly The Good Dinosaur from 2015, about a young dinosaur navigating life after losing his father. Mark says he likes to see dinosaurs portrayed as good guys every now and then.
Now, I might root for dinosaurs even in films where I'm not necessarily supposed to, but with The Good Dinosaur, I think parents can easily see their kids warm to these particular dinos.
Dinosaurs had their shot.
We're digging up some dinosaur movies on the watch list.
A great option, but for those of you looking for something in the toddler category, Disney Junior's Dino Ranch, I'm just saying.
Dinos on a ranch? I'd visit that place.
Yeah, okay, Dino Ranch, not an actual place, but Hell, Michigan is real, and it's got a good story behind it. Last on our list is next.
Welcome back. It's time for what's last on our list. And KG, a colleague of ours here at The List, is traveling to Novi, Michigan, so she asked me about it.
Oh, because she knows that you're from the Mittens.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and I told her the story behind the name, confirmed on the city's website. It was the 6th stop on the trail from Detroit to Lansing, and the abbreviation for number, N-O, combined with the Roman numeral 6, V-I, to spell out Novi, and the name just stuck.
That is fascinating. It also joins a long list of very fascinating place names that have a story just like that one.
Okay, hit me.
Okay, we've got Booger Hole, West Virginia.
So many possible taglines. I'm not touching those.
No, don't touch that one. The actual story, though, is that after a series of murders, the rumor spread that the place was haunted by the boogeyman, and hence the name.
Okay, well, that got dark, so I'm going to lighten it up here. Did you know that residents of Accident, Maryland are called accidentals?
Oh, I did not. Okay, how about this one? Bangs, Texas.
Wow, they either need to endure that awkward growing out phase or maybe move to Mullet, Texas.
A, there is no Mullet, Texas, I don't think. And B, it is named after Samuel Bangs, who surveyed the land.
Okay, I like my story better. And I don't want to brag, but I really do think my home state of Michigan has a lock on great place names. There's Christmas, Michigan.
Oh, that's delightful.
There's Hell, Michigan.
Okay, look at this. This is great. Welcome to hell. More people tell you to go to our town than anywhere else on earth.
And talk about a big finish, the city of Climax, Michigan.
Oh, a little anticlimactic, if you ask me. And that's what's last on our list. Thanks for watching, friends. We'll see you next time.
Tomorrow on The List, redecorate your home on a budget.
I brought in some fun shelving with little baskets and hooks and things.
Plus, prevent burnout with a professional refresh.
We need to recognize that people are really overworked right now and they're exhausted.
And explore the unknown depths of the Earth's oceans.
We actually have very little idea of what is out there.
Tomorrow on The List,